Hi everybody, it's me, Teresa Perrin, and I want to give you an update on HLBZ because I have some important things to share and some items I really need to discuss with you. Please remember that nothing I say is financial advice and always do your own DD. So as many of you may have seen today, GNS had quite an amazing run, and that was based off of them fighting the shorts. Now, it's no secret that HLBZ is certainly under attack by these short sellers, and they are being forced in a position to not only dilute their stock, but also, like, every time they battle and dilute, they're being driven down further in price, so they have to dilute more. I want to be perfectly clear. I do not believe that the CEO is diluting by choice here. If you notice that the increments just keep coming in small amounts, and yet every time he does it, the price goes down a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. Just enough so that to make sure that that market cap isn't getting to where it needs to be. Guys, this is absolutely sickening. And I'm not kidding you that, like, literally, it really makes me nauseous. And I haven't been able to sleep well at night because of what is occurring. And this isn't my company. But yes, I own a good amount of shares in it. But this is illegal. And this is just not what America is supposed to be. Could you imagine starting an amazing company that first you get hit with a pandemic, so things get slowed down, but you're able to overcome it and stay in business, and you're building and you're constantly have good press articles after good press articles. You're acquiring another company, you're moving to more profitable markets, you're stopping, your markets that aren't making you the right profit margin. You're laying off employees that now you have two positions basically doing the same thing because of the Wheels acquisition. So you're not paying out money, that doesn't need to be. You're doing everything right by shareholders. You're buying shares every single day. And yet you have these thieves on Wall Street just brutally attacking your company, driving that price from its high of $40 all the way down to 12 cents. I don't know how Salvatore sleeps at night, the CEO. I seriously have no clue because I'm struggling to sleep at night just watching this. And guys, it's wrong. It's wrong on so many levels, and I feel like we need to stand by him. And in this video, I'm going to address some concerns, and I'm going to be blatantly honest because there's some people out there that claim they do their DD and claim they know things that are spreading FUD, and it pisses me off because do you think that he's diluting a CEO that's buying up shares month after month after month? Do you think he's trying to dilute his company? I want you to really, really think about that. Because I'm sorry, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the big picture here. In order for HLBZ to avoid going to the OTC, he has to get that market cap above 35 million. What's happening, guys? Every time he puts in a dilution to bring it up, they shoot the stock down further. It's absolutely disgusting, and they're doing this to try to prevent that. I'm telling you, these shorts have no extent that they will not go to. I would love, love, love to know how many naked shorts are in here to hold this price down to 12 cents. I would really love to know that information, guys. This is seriously criminal, and I have some good news. Let me show you. All right, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have already seen this. I sent a message to both David Mitchery and Salvatore Paella. And it says, and please forgive me if I'm butchering your name. I've never heard it said out loud. So I'm very fearful of that because I've had not my parent last name, but my maiden name butchered my entire life. So I apologize if I'm not saying it right. But it says you both need to contact GNS CEO at Roger Hamilton to get the name of the FBI director he hired for stock manipulation. I assure you what's happening to GNS is occurring in your companies and many, many others. The CEOs need to bring down Wall Street. Guys, what I meant by this is that this is not just happening to GNS. I would put money on it that probably over 80%, if not 100% of the companies on the stock market are being manipulated in maybe not to the same extent of GNS or HLBZ or others, but significantly. And maybe not actively at this time, but at one time or another, I'd be willing to bet that they have been. And many continue to be. And the result, in which we've seen lately with AVCT, Party, is what? The company ends up going bankrupt and getting delisted. What is the goal of Wall Street doing this? I'll tell you what the goal is. First of all, they drive the price up. Then they short it from the top all the way down to next to nothing. When the company files bankruptcy and goes to OTC, then guess what? They never, ever, ever pay back their short positions, their naked shorts, their whatever else they created, their synthetics. They never, ever have to pay them back. Nobody knows about it. And guess what the best part is for them? They don't even pay taxes on their gains. You heard me correctly, and that is the truth. Guys, I don't know what to say here other than we're under attack in HLBZ, we're under attack in Mullen, and there's many, many, many other stocks that I am in that is also under attack, including Adder, including many of my cancer drugs, many of my biotech stocks, actually. Novavax is getting attacked really badly right now as well. There's many. Look at Carvana. Do you think that this is normal price action? Seriously. 100% not. And it goes so beyond just the scopes of the people behind the computers. This is computer algorithm generated. It's whatever's being told from the bigwigs. They have a plan for how they put things in, so it doesn't even look like the company's heavily shorted. No joking. In addition, those articles, those FUD articles that pop up all over the place, I mean, the CEO of Mullen gets them a lot, basically trashing the stock. Do you think that it's not all related? Do you not think that either the hedge fund owns the company writing them or people are getting paid to write these articles by the hedge fund? Because they are. And even if you go way, way back, you can find Jim Cramer many, many years ago actually said this. And there's recordings. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them around where he stated exactly what they do. They call up a reporter or whatever. They say, oh, I just want to give you a little tip about what's happening with such and such company. Then boom, an article pops up. They front-loaded shorts in that position to drive the price down, and they banked on it. Guys, it's sick. It's a sick, sick game. At any rate, he saw my tweet, thank God, because I didn't know how else to get his attention and just prayed he watched the video that I did the other night. But he said, I'm looking very closely at this and I will have our legal team study the case. Stay tuned. Guys, there's no doubt in my mind that Salvatore has done everything possible for this company to try to get this price to naturally come up. There's only one answer to why it's not. And that's because it's fraud. It's being artificially suppressed. And it's not happening from HLBZ. I see these crazy people tweet things like the CEO is shorting his own stock. Are you out of your freaking mind? Like, do you really go to bed at night and think that? I mean, I don't know whether they're paid shills or what, but seriously, some of the things that people say, it's just beyond my wildest imagination of where it comes from. Because either they're really dumb as rocks or they have no clue, or they're paid. I mean, seriously. At any rate, I don't want to insult people, but it's kind of frustrating when I see these things and I can see the big picture. I mean, take yourself out of the equation and look at the whole picture. Look at the filings, look at what's happening. Do you think that a CEO that is getting very close to profitability and is buying up hundreds of thousands of shares of his own company, if not millions at this point? I'd have to sit there and go do the math and add them up. Actually, there's not even that many to go around, so it's definitely not millions. But who's buying up a ton of shares? Let's put it that way. Of his stock, there's not even 100,000. Yes, there is. Maybe it could be millions. Sorry, my brain fog. Anyways, do you think he's buying up all these shares of his own stock and diluting because he wants to? No. 100% he is not. He's diluting because he has to in order to get the market cap to 35 million, which is why I am trying to get a share count, guys. Because in order for him to appeal, and just a heads up, you are going to see any day now an 8K filed that tells you that HLBZ received a notice of delisting from the NASDAQ. I promise you it's coming, and I'm not happy about it. And I'm sure Salvatore is not happy about it because I've never seen a CEO try so hard and make seriously good article, positive news after positive news, buying more, doing this, doing that, and constantly being kicked down by these scam artists on Wall Street. It's not okay at any level, and it's absolute BS. And he needs to literally call Wes Christian, and he needs to get this FBI director involved ASAP before this company gets sent to OTC, because that is what they are attempting to do right now. And that would be very sad because it's not easy, first of all, to get a company to a level where it's on the NASDAQ. He's built an amazing company with huge potential. He's fought through COVID, and he doesn't deserve this like so many other companies. But this company, I have like a soft place in my heart because I feel like they've given it all. And I would give anything to wake up tomorrow morning and to see it running like GNS. Like that would make my entire maybe year, because then I would feel like I could sleep peacefully at night knowing that they have a chance to fight these shorts and that they have support behind them. So if there's one thing I could wish for tomorrow, that would be that HLBZ, that these crooks on Wall Street would cut the crap and let HLBZ retain their market cap and continue their listing. Enough's enough. They've made their money. Let it go. Close out your short positions and let it go. This is a good company that doesn't deserve this. Anyways, let's continue. Sorry, rant over. It says, thank you. I hope you watched the video I made over the weekend and tagged you in. I believe your company is doing great things and you are a victim of the crimes that are occurring on Wall Street. Their intent is to bankrupt your company. I always watch your video. I need to follow the rules, and as you know, can't share no public information. Please remember his first language is Italian, not English, guys, so don't mock him for grammar. But I agree with you. Now, this is the problem. He can't come out and say, because he's a publicly traded company, hey, everybody, just so you know, I'm diluting the company because of these crooks on Wall Street, and they're giving me no other option. This is the only way I can save us and ensure that we don't go to OTC. He legally can't come out and just make that statement, guys, because he's under laws. And guess what? He has to do what he has to do to protect the company. So I'm going to be the voice of reason here and tell you, because I have no problem spending most of my day, every day, reading through filings and researching companies when I see a problem. And there's a big problem going on in HLBZ. But you know what, guys? Now he's aware of it. So let his legal team do what they need to do, because they have a case. As far as what I can see has been happening in HLBZ, they have a huge case. And I think that once they join this battle to fight this fight, and start doing what GNS has put out today, that you're going to see a very similar reaction happen to HLBZ. And please bear with them. They need your support behind them while they do this. And it's going to be a battle. That being said, I mean, seriously, we're at 12 cents right now. Even if we were forced to temporarily go to OTC because of this corruption, I think we would end up ultimately doing quite well. I think initially, some people might get annoyed and whatever, shorts are going to be shorts. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but this is a battle that needs to be fought, and I think shareholders need to stand by and help this company out. I think that's the only way we see them through it, and I truly believe that this stock trading at 12 cents is a joke. It's seriously a joke. And if I were richer, then I would be buying this up like crazy. I am doing the best I can right now, every chance I get. But as you guys know, sadly, I am disabled and on Social Security. So my only money comes from trading. And I have a daughter in college, and that is not cheap. So I do the best that I can, and I really want to support them through this because they deserve to be. But that being said, I see something I love to see in a chart today. This is the daily candle. It's a doji, or pretty darn close to a doji. Maybe not the perfect doji. That little middle's a little, well, it's blown up. I mean, ultimately, this is a penny, so it's a doji. And that generally indicates, guys, a reversal. And I pray to God that they're done with this BS and that reversal that I see sends this flying tomorrow. But we shall see. Another thing, and if you watched my Mullen video that I did earlier, you know that when the volume dries up, which look at the volume's much less than the normal average over the past 3 months, it's at 15.84 million today. That is generally a sign that the stock is about to flip, and soon you get a breakout. So, believe it or not, volume drying up is bullish. Tomorrow, hopefully, we get something that sends us. But be prepared if that AK, which is coming, because he has to disclose to us that he received that notice from the NASDAQ. When that comes, the shorts are going to do everything they can to attack. Just so you know, be prepared. The average volume, though, is 18.53 million. So essentially, this is 3 million less than normal, which tells me that it's starting to dry up and ready to make a run. But like I said, if we get that notice, be on prepare for an attack. Now, there's some similarities that I see with GSN. And that is that, number one, there are no warrants in this stock. Number two, insiders own a good amount. And number three, the obvious, that they've both been shorted from much, much higher levels. HLBZ even worse. And guys, I truly believe that both CEOs care about their shareholders, care about their company, and have had enough of the BS that is happening on a daily basis. At any rate, institutions own 3.45%, which is another thing. They both have small institutional ownership. Well, why do you think that is? Because don't think for 1 minute that the institutions don't know what the other ones are up to. If stocks are under attack, they're well aware of it. So this small institutional ownership is something that is telling me they know to stay away from HLBZ. Like I said, the insider ownership, because insiders own 33.12, so a third of HLBZ is owned by the CEO and people inside the company. And others, meaning you and I and other share owners, own 63.43%. So guys, both of them have good insider ownership, no options. It's kind of like a pattern that I'm starting to see in some of these companies. Now, Today in the dark pool, 67% of all trades were sent to the dark pool, guys. And that's way, way more than normal because on average in the past 20 days, it's only been 30%. So why do you think that is? Because I bet you some people were buying today more than normal, probably because they knew what was coming. And they saw GNS and they said, oh, let me put 2 and 2 together. Because let me tell you, GNS will likely cause some other heavily shorted stocks to run because I can see Wall Street right now. Did you ever watch, like, what was that movie, like The Big Short or something, where they all come in on the flying in the big wigs from the helicopters because there's a major problem, right? Well, right now they have a major problem on their hands because don't think for 1 minute that this FBI agent is not going to disclose what's happening in that company. Because with GNS today, they have a 10 million free float. And you know how many shares traded today? Over 255 million. Actually, I think it was up to like 260 million in the after hours. 25 times the entire float traded hands today. 25 times the entire tradable float, guys. If that doesn't scream to you naked shorting is occurring, I don't know what will. I mean, that was basically proof right there that something wasn't right. And yet the share price, great, it went up 300%, but it should have gone up like 10,000% at that rate with 25 times the entire float trading. Because how many people do you think were selling today? I think people were buying it up like crazy. Well, guys, I think that day is coming soon for HLBZ. Because I think that right now, the pressure's on. Eyes are on Wall Street. They got a lot of heat. And when I said by like the big wigs being flown in on their helicopters to discuss the problem, I could see them all after hours today having a massive discussion because, like I said, this isn't just happening to GNS. This is happening to many, many, many stocks. Now, here's another similarity. If you looked at GNS's short interest prior to today, I think it showed a pretty low number. Look at what it says HLBZ's short interest is. 1.50%. Now let's fast forward to a few here. First of all, this is still 6.5 million shares that they have available to short. It's like they have an endless supply. Seriously, not joking. That's what it feels like because how do they keep doing this day after day? Meanwhile, supposedly they're paying 27% cost to borrow. Well, it must be worth their while if they're paying that high of a cost to borrow in order to be keeping this price down. But look at this. Do you think there's really only 1.5% short interest when the short volume ratio, i.e. the shares that are shorted in the dark pool, have been every single day for the past 2 weeks, and I'm going to tell you from someone who looks at this chart, essentially every day for as long as I can remember, over 50%. Oh, I'm sorry. You have one day out of the last 10 that it was at 49.4%. And do you think that there's only a short interest of 1.5%? Yeah, no, that doesn't add up. Sorry, no go. Guys, I can't tell you enough that Fintel is a tool, and I'm sorry, they're lying because not Fintel. I'm going to say the information that they get from these hedge funds is a lie. I think that they have whatever it is programmed into their computer that's showing them that they're long in a position when they're really short so that the short interest doesn't register. There's something that's going on, and I don't know, but I'm sure that, the FBI will figure it out real quick because A plus B does not equal C. And 1.5 with half of all volume in the dark pool where most of your trades are going is short. Doesn't add up. So, just saying. Something's very, very amiss here. And failure to deliver, they don't come into play, guys, because this chart goes through 1230 or 1231 and there's nothing on those days. So that's not an issue. So where are these shares going? That is the magic question. And hopefully they can do some investigating and prove it, because there's something crazy going on here, that I can promise you. And the picture doesn't add up. Not at all, and it hasn't for a very, very long time. Something else. Look at these weird spikes. Look at the chart for today, okay? You see 2 times where it tried to go up to like 1307, was immediately shorted right back down, like literally right back. And then look at this weird, right around closing time, it hit 1129. What was this? Maybe a liquidity grab for potentially grabbing people that had a stop loss set. I'm not quite sure, but these are questionable too. And I'd be taking a close look at what's going on during that time. Now, I think there was a filing today for more shares. Are they for more shares diluting? Is that causing this? I don't know, but I didn't see that on those other days when those filings came out. And again, I'm going to ask you to please use your brain and think about, why would a company that is buying up shares like crazy be diluting? Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it? Now ask yourself what the problem is. Well, the problem is that they're being shorted to oblivion and they need their market cap to be 35 million in order to apply for that NASDAQ extension. So what do they have to do, guys? We need to somehow get this price up above 18 cents. So I'm on a mission to buy. And I hope you'll spread the word and buy along with me, because we need to try to do what we can to help HLBZ along here. I firmly believe that they're not diluting because they want to. And I also firmly believe that as soon as the CEO is able, that he will do some kind of stock repurchase agreement or something to get rid of that dilution. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I truly feel that if you look at the big picture, it all makes sense. Anyways, guys, that's what I got for you tonight. Hopefully you found this information helpful, and hopefully, the CEO is really going to look into it with his legal team and go to fight, because enough's enough. And seriously, if you're in a company where you see this day after day happening, there's a lot of stocks. There's, thousands of stocks that, are on the stock exchange. And I assure you, a lot of them are being affected by this. So if you know of somebody, please send them to watch my last 2 HLBZ videos, and maybe it'll give them some inspiration. There's links in the first one that I did over the weekend that actually help them to locate other videos that they can watch to get information on it. So anyways, guys, I really think HLBZ has a lot going for it. This makes me sick to my stomach, just knowing what is happening and what's going on in what's supposedly a free and fair market, yet it's nothing free and fair about it. So please stand behind me and help support HLBZ, because I think they deserve to put an end to this and fight the fight.